character is constantly degraded and looked down just because of his skin color, and his innocent life was taken away due to the prejudice and racism in Macomb County. Tom Robinson is a black man with good morals who faces with constant bombardment of racism in Macomb. In this novel, not only is he innocent, but he was also vulnerable as he was against two white people. Although Tom Robinson simply wanted to help Mayella, he was forced to be put into a trial against Bob and Mayella Yule after being accused of rape, as Mayella felt guilty of breaking the unwritten social code of Macomb when she kissed Tom Robinson. Despite having obvious reasons as to why he couldn't have been the one who raped Mayella, such as having a shriveled up left arm, he was still deemed as guilty. Due to this, he was sent to prison, where he was shot 17 times and was killed. So I chose a mockingbird for my symbol because it symbolizes innocence. In chapter 10, page 103, Miss Maudie says, "Mockingbirds don't do one thing but make music for us to enjoy. They don't eat up people's gardens. They don't nest in corn cribs, and they don't do one thing but sing their hearts out for us. That's why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird." Tom Robinson is a mockingbird because he doesn't remotely cause any harm but only attempts to help Mayella. To kill a mockingbird means to kill innocence. And so, despite having done nothing but good deeds, this mockingbird, an innocent man named Tom Robinson, meets his demise after being failed to prove an innocent due to one reason. He is a black man while Mayella was a white woman. And next, I chose racism as my main theme because it is obvious that racism is one of the major themes in the novel. Tom, as a black man, faces racism very often. The prejudice and racism in Macomb society is one factor that leads to Tom Robinson's death. The way the Macomb society's socio-economic ladder is structured affects Tom Robinson as he is an African American, meaning that he is at the bottom of the ladder. Because he is a black man, people seem to ignore and treat him as if he is inferior to them. If Macomb had not been so exposed to racism and prejudice, then it may have been possible for Tom Robinson to be still alive. The trial of Tom Robinson was the part where it showed most of racism and prejudice in Macomb. Even prior to the novel, when people of Macomb had learned that Atticus would be defending Tom Robinson, they ashamed him for doing so and disapproved his action. Many people acknowledged that Tom Robinson was innocent. However, simply because he was a black man, they dismissed the fact that he wasn't a child for a crime that he didn't even commit. And so, when Tom Robinson was proven guilty, the people of Macomb seemed to be rather happy than upset, as shown by the quote in chapter 22, page 242, that reads, "It was James' turn to cry. His face was streaked with angry tears as we made our way through the cheerful crowd." The crowd was celebrating over the fact that an innocent man was proven guilty. However, they do this because Tom Robinson was a black man. This exemplifies how severe racism in Macomb society is, and that these prejudiced actions of people should be put into shame. Tom Robinson became a victim. It was Macomb society's racism that had killed Tom Robinson. So, at the end of the day, it's the severe racism and prejudice of Macomb society that contributed most to Tom Robinson's death, thus killing an innocent mockingbird, or Tom Robinson. And now I will explain all these. In the novel, the jailhouse is described as the most venerable and hideous of the county's buildings, and that the Macomb jail was a miniature Gothic joke with one cell wide and two cells high, complete with tiny battlements. So I didn't draw it as wide, but I drew it tall enough so it may seem as if it could fit two cells. And I also added these battlements. If you open this, there's also Tom Robinson sleeping inside. And that's basically it.